Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 276 of the Music Mondays podcast. Hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. Hope you had a fine weekend. I had a pretty crazy weekend. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. Hope everything is well on everybody's end, man. So, let's dive in. So, first off, we're going to talk about some weekly recap stuff. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple weeks. Then we'll talk recruiting, and then we'll do exclusive stuff as well. So let's get into it. Weekly recap, Jazz. Let's dive in. So, per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. If you'd like to purchase one of those for $20 flat, including shipping, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that sent out for you, my friends. Like I said, you should be seeing a post about that on our socials relatively soon, because we have a decent amount of stock left. So, I want to make people aware of that, right? Because those are still available for sure. But heading into Tuesday, every single Tuesday following a live show on Mondays, you can go check out the full high quality version of the show over there on the Music Mondays Patreon. If you want to go clip it, download it, anything like that, that is available over there on the Patreon following the live show every single Tuesday. And then, of course, submissions open every single Tuesday for the following Mondays, Music Mondays podcast. So, again, if you'd like to submit for episode 277, submissions will be live tomorrow, May 12th, on all of our socials. So, definitely make sure you're following and staying up to date. That's Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, per usual, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So, if you're interested in getting a spot on our weekly SoundCloud playlist, definitely let us know. And make sure you follow us on social media. And of course, like I said, submissions open every single Wednesday. And of course, we usually close out Wednesday with some audio podcast promo for the following day, because every single Thursday, the audio version of the show does drop on all audio platforms. So keep that in mind. But again, pretty stacked Wednesday per usual. And then heading into Thursday, October 2025 Patreon appreciation is available right now on all social media. So huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons, past and present. We're slowly catching up on those appreciation posts, which is nice. We only got a few more to put out for 2025, so that'll be sick. But heading into Deeper Thursday, episode 275 is available on all audio platforms of the Music Mondays podcast. So again, if you missed that episode last week, you want to go run it up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any places like that, that's completely fine. So again, definitely go show that some love. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit to episode 275, man. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. We appreciate you here on Music Mondays. So deeper into Thursday, we actually had a YouTube segment get uploaded where we spoke about creating songs for yourself, right? And obviously everybody creates music for themselves, right? But, you know, sometimes you have those songs where it's more of a personal ode and a personal story, right? So, yeah, that was a pretty good segment from last week, and that is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel right now. So definitely go check that out and go show that segment some love. And again, we do upload two times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Let's see here. So that caps off Thursday. Pretty busy Thursday, and then we head into Friday with a brand new article by me, actually, speaking about the summer 2025 preview and kind of what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next, couple of months, right? So that's a quick update piece over there in the news section on the Music Mondays website. So again, definitely go check that out and go show that some love if you want some more deeper updates on summer. So that was Friday, and then of course episode 275 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on YouTube every single Saturday. So again, definitely go check that out and go show that some love if you prefer the YouTube version of the show. That does drop every single Saturday. So again, just keep that in mind. And then, per usual, huge shout out to everybody that did submit and tune into episode 275, by the way. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. That was Saturday. And then, of course, heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 238 is available right now on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday, man. Again, those have been popping off recently for whatever reason. We're not ones to complain, right? So if you want to submit for SoundCloud Sunday, definitely follow us on socials and stay up to date. Those submissions do go live every single Wednesday. So again, just keep that in mind. And that takes us to today, May 11th, following Mother's Day 2026. We're here we're live and in color for episode 276. That's pretty much everything that was major over the course of the last week or so that you might have missed. So outside of that, the next thing we got to go through is what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple weeks, right? So summer events are in full swing, right? I'm in the middle of planning a few events for a couple of our platforms, including Music Mondays, right? So working on a lot of like really insane stuff in the background when it comes to that. Again, Cyberfest 3, kind of laying out dates and things like that. So that's like the busy part of the background. But in addition to that, we did have a really productive staff meeting last week that I think really puts us on a good trajectory for the rest of 2026. So yeah, that's a big thing. And then of course, Music Mondays has gone through a few roster changes and things like that. So stuff like that I have to handle in the background, right, when it comes down to that while maintaining the platform. So but yeah, bigger events for the summer. That is kind of what's on the board and the menu, right? Then, of course, outside of that, your weekly and monthly content will be staying the same. Podcasts staying the same. Playlists stay the same. Articles staying the same. A lot of our YouTube video content will be staying the same, right? Then, of course, in addition to some of our older segments making a return, Underground Classics over there on SoundCloud, Feature Friday and Workshop Wednesday over there on YouTube, right? So we have a few segments that definitely are going to be making a return here soon. That's a fact. But like I said, a lot of your monthly and weekly content will be staying the same. So that's pretty much everything crazy coming over the next couple weeks, right? And then, of course, I'll be updating you guys weekly here on the show every single Monday. And then, of course, make sure you follow us on social media for any kind of emergency or last-minute announcements, right? So that's that. Let's see here. What else do we have to go through, my friends? We did weekly recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week. Let's talk recruiting. Yes, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for brand new staff members. If you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation for you. Again, if you're a writer, journalist, curator, designer, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content for Music Mondays, again, definitely let us know. Shoot me a DM, shoot Music Mondays a DM. Send us an email or anything like that if you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team. Again, per usual, resume preferred, but not really required. If you're kind of new to underground independent media, that's completely fine. We'll be happy to kind of like show you the ropes, right? But yes, that's that. Music Mondays is recruiting. We're actually going to be putting out a new recruiting flyer here shortly. I don't think we've put one out in like a couple of months, so we're definitely due for that as well. But let's see. Outside of that, that's recruiting. Let's talk exclusives. So again, Music Mondays is on the hunt for unreleased material. If you have a unreleased track that you like to have hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud of over 400 followers, and of course promoted across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go kind of throw it on DSPs, you want to do a music video or anything like that, that's completely fine. We're only interested in the unreleased SoundCloud version. Again, same goes for YouTube. If you like to have some audio, maybe an AMV or a music video hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 400 subscribers for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that uploaded for you as well. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards, right? That's completely fine. So, that's that. What else here? I think we're good. I think we're chilling. Yeah, because we spoke recap stuff, what's coming, recruiting, SoundCloud exclusives. Yeah, no, we're good, my friends. We're good. So let's pop over to Twitter because I do have a few interesting discussion segments here that I want to get on the show pretty soon. So you'll be seeing some of that. Definitely relatively soon for sure. There's a few topics that I always see on like social media and Twitter and things like that that are always like, better left for the podcast, right? Because, you know, kind of like there are conversations that are just better with like a tone of voice and using your words, right? Instead of typing, because like those conversations never really end well when it's more of like a convoluted topic, right? So that's why like, you know, meetings and like conversations like in person or like on a call are like super important because you know, you lose context and like tone when you're talking about bigger topics over text, right? So that's the thing with that. So certain topics, like, you know, you could just like do a quick like reply on Twitter or something like that if it's not that deep. But then also like if it is that deep, you kind of want to like kind of want to like hammer down your points so like people like don't kind of like misread what you're trying to say, right? So, but outside of that, let's pop over to Twitter here and let's see what we got for some submissions, my friends. Per usual, submissions are always in the same format every single weekend. They always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on May 11th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. Again, the only thing that does change is the date, so keep that in mind. Make sure you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet. But outside of that, submission formats are always in the same kind of post, right? Outside of that, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. Again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to a multitude of things here on the show. Everything from music to instrumentals to unreleased to demos to covers to music videos, photography, videography, behind-the-scenes content, vlogs. So again, if you're an underground independent creator of any capacity and you feel like you deserve some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to drop your links and portfolios below. And of course, all art forms are welcome. 3-hour show limit. Again, we are one of the only live shows here on Twitch every single Monday, so we like to keep the show a little bit more palatable. Again, one could argue that a 3-hour show is, still a little bit long, right? But compared to like some of our 5-6 hour shows that we used to do, like years ago, definitely not as long, right? So again, 3-hour show limit, keep that in mind. Submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free, but the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit. Again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But like I said, the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you do submit. Not only does that help spread our message and grow our platform, but again, you pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And of course, you gain access to a wide, wonderful range of talented artists in our community. So kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, of course, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to all of our content early and a whole bunch of other goodies, including the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again, for the duration that you're pledged for the Music Mondays Patreon, allows to have all of your submissions be played first every single week here on the show. So again, not only are you played at the height of viewership when we're live, but when people go and watch the show back, you're also one of the first submissions. And of course, guarantees your submission actually gets played, right? Because sometimes, once we're pushing like 20, 25 submissions, that really like hits that like 3-hour show limit mark, you know what I mean? So some submissions will have to be scrubbed, but that's a way, for you to guarantee to have all of your submissions played, right? That's that. Huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patrons, man. You guys are wonderful. Outside of that, one other thing that we have to discuss is submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. So again, just keep that in mind. You have like roughly about like 6.5 days or so to get your submissions in, right? So plenty of time, but good rule of thumb is that if the show is already live, submissions are definitely closed, so that way we kind of keep the order organic, and that way a late submission doesn't come in and kind of mess up the order for somebody who was possibly waiting for their submission, right? So just keep that in mind. That's that. Outside of that, if you'd like any more information on how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast, you want some more lore and things like that, why we take submissions on Twitter and all that good jazz, we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on our YouTube channel right now that did get updated for 2026. So definitely go check that out if you want any more deeper information on Music Mondays, right? So, outside of that, let's check how many patrons we have tonight. Got the homie TDG. I'm down. Shout out Slantoons. Been a couple months since we heard from Slantoons. We got the homie Ghost, and then we got the homie Jordan. All right, 3 patrons back to back, and then the rest of the community came through with some interesting submissions, I'm not gonna lie. But let's kick it off with TDG, man, a wonderfully talented hip-hop artist that has been fucking killing it from all angles, whether that be videos, their music, or even singles, collaborations, right? They came through with a track titled Out West. Out West, proud by me, Dreams, yeah, no. The TDG's been on point with the captions and the writing recently. Like, everything has been really, really stellar out of them. So I have no doubt that this will kind of be right up our alley, for sure. 100%. Another song on the debut album, Fairy Tales, Prod Me. I'm down. Let's get into it. TDG Out West, let's go.
Headed out west and I ain't coming back until I cash check and bring back a bag. Whoa. Headed out west and I ain't coming back until I cash check and bring back a bag. Give the fam a life they never had. I used to always say my bad. Never say in your face too bad. eyes glued to the ceiling. Fantasies I'm dreaming, my meditate is screaming. Love is the reason, feeling depleted, but not yet defeated. Life a drug and I'm sober, going over and over, but not yet closer. Going nowhere, losing my air, gasping, laughing, living. This all madness, love never had it, but I might have it. Present, past, and future, all at once. I say I need, but I just want. I'ma do it, get what I want, cause I earned it. I'm the buzz of the town, I know you heard this. I'm getting better, gone through the surface. Cold-blooded like of a serpent. The mind kinda think I'm a servant. Yeah, my shoulder just got chips. The sounds inside eclipse. My thoughts asking each other, who is this? That idea don't click. Funny how I'm here with all the time I missed. I'm next and I got skipped. My mind pissed like who thought this through? Seems like it was neither me or you, but we here, so pull it through. Get it together. Didn't prepare for the weather. Wait, did I say it get better? Believe it when I see it. Headed out west and I ain't coming back until I cash check and bring back a bag. Give the fam a life they never had. Used to always say my bad. Now I say in your face, too bad.
Facts.
I'm in my bag.
I would agree. TDG is definitely in their bag for sure. 100%. We got Ghost in chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Hope you're well. But TDG beats are getting fucking crazy. This one was more like a little bit more on the experimental side as far as like production goes, but it works for TDG, right? Like they're really a student of their own craft, right? And they kind of like understand like what they can and can like slide on when it comes to instrumentals, right? Especially when you're self-produced, you really kind of have that like creative freedom. So that one kind of like shined through here for sure. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Out West. Great theme, by the way. You know, another like motivational style track, which I like. Instrumental. I mean, the instrumental is like damn near a feature on this. It's so entertaining to listen to, right? Like, it's really, really entertaining to listen to. Like, the instrumental itself could be a song, right? But I feel like TDG, like, just really, like, went out of their way to be as creative as possible with this instrumental. And it worked out. You know what I mean? It worked out. As far as the instrumental mix goes, nothing super clashy or too overbearing, even though it does have a lot going on in it. I don't think the mix was, like, hindering the track or anything like that. I feel like the mix was like pretty much on point. Levers were good, quality was good, nothing to really like super gripe about, right? Instrumental shining star though, definitely the structure. The structure all day. The fucking switch ups were nuts. You could probably argue drums, I guess, right? But I think we're gonna have to go with structure. That really like surprised me the most on like a first listen, right? So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. We got Lucha Libro in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Hope you're well. Welcome. Yeah, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. A very standard TDG vocal mix. Nothing to really gripe about here either. Quality was good. Levels were good. I thought the engineering itself was great. I mean, nothing really to like super gripe about. This is a very like staple TDG style of mix, right? Especially if you're like a frequent viewer of Music Mondays, you kind of know that this is like one of the kind of standards of TDG, right? So, vocal mix definitely right where it needs to be. Solid. Vocal shining star, though, I mean, I really like the overall theme, right? I think the overall theme kind of like does it for me, but specifically, I think the writing and lyrics kind of take it for me. Very motivational, clever, somewhat like cocky and arrogant, but in like a good way. You know what I mean? Like you have to believe in yourself in this type of career. You know what I mean? Like, you have to. So, you saw a little bit of that, like, oozing out of TDG, which I like, you know what I mean? Like, talk your shit, for sure. I think every artist needs to do that, like, once in a while, right? But, yeah, writing and lyrics, man. Writing and lyrics, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, this is a cover that we already reacted to, a few times, but again, just to go over it really quickly, it does have that fairy tale kind of, like, what's the movie I'm thinking of? Shit, I can't think of it. But regardless, it does have that good, like, really, like, fairy tale kind of style going on here. I think what kind of did it for me though was the parental rating up top mid instead of like the parental advisory. You know what I mean? I like that switch up a lot. And fairy tales in the mid, TDG bottom mid. I mean, very album worthy for me for sure. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme though, again, like I said, I like the overall like leaving home kind of theme. I think everybody, um, you know, has songs like that they listen to, and it's just like a good escape. And this one kind of felt like an escape for me, and I think TDG did like a really good job describing that and like how they kind of like want their vision to be, right? And especially like the last few bars are just like real motivational shit, So again, TDG was definitely in their bag on this for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow TDG on SoundCloud. By the way, they're approaching 1.1K over there on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter as well. They're only 9 followers away from 170. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday and every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. W song for real. I agree. Definitely a W song. Yeah, that album is shaping up to be something that's really, really fucking sick for sure. I always just like creating albums in general anyway, though. You know what I mean? But let me snipe this bot out of here real quick, and then let's continue on. So we left off with the homie TDG. Up next is the homie Ghost, a very, very talented multi-genre producer. Came through with Something For Me demo, an unreleased Ghost track up in here. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Okay. So recently the Ghost submissions have been fucking gnarly. No surprise. But man, there's been a few recently that kind of like ring bells for me. You know what I mean? There's definitely been a few for sure. So let's get into it. Ghost, Something For Me demo. Let's go.
Turn it. Turn the music up, do something for me. Do it. Take the top off, move something for me. Cut the lights off, prove something for me. Never let me down, you do something for me. Do it. Turn the music up, do something for me. Do it. Take the top off, move something for me. Cut the lights off, prove something for me. Never let me down, you do something for me. I just need somebody that could keep this flame alive. I just need somebody that could keep me up all night. I just need somebody that will not be afraid to ride. I just need somebody that does something for me like makes me feel I'm free, there's not being stressed, okay, alright. I already know relationship come with 2 sides, so I need to know I really want you by my side. Otherwise someone else up there will do it right. Turn the music up, do something for me. Take the top off, move something for me. Cut the lights off, prove something for me. Never let me down, you do something for me. Turn the music up right there for me. Ay, ay. Take the top off, don't be scared for me. Ay, ay. Cut the lights off, get it for me. Ay, ay. Never let me down, you're the one for me. Are you that somebody that was made for me to find? Are you that somebody that my mom can really like? Are you that somebody that is not about to lie? Say you're with your girls, but you're really with the guys. Say you're not an Autobot, really in disguise. I transform your life, then you treat me like a side. You move like a bike, everybody gets a ride.
No
Please do
way.
me a favor, do not ever call this line. I know from time to time you get lonely, that is fine. If you abuse my trust, don't give a fuck. You're the type to realize you had it wrong and want me back. I tried. Spin the block in hopes to have me back. Why? Turn the music up, do something for me. Do it. Take the top off, move something for me. Cut the lights off, prove something for me. Never let me down, you do something for me.
Wow. Well done. Really, really well done. We went 3 for 3 in this too. I told you I was not like, no bullshit though. No fucking bullshit. Wow. Wow. This one is so polished, and even though it is a demo, it sounds so nice. It sounds really, really fucking nice. You know what I mean? Very crispy, very clean. The hook's great. I mean, even the writing too, right? Like the fucking writing, I was just like, dude, what? Yeah, like you have to listen. Like that like second half of this song, bro, is nuts. You know what I mean? Like is for sure nuts. So writing is just fucking nuts here. I'm impressed. This one's awesome. This one's really, really awesome. Um, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme for Something for Me. Um, okay. So instrumental, obviously Prod Ghost. Um, fantastic, very bouncy. Like again, it's in a similar style, but also it's very different than the rest that we've heard as well. You know what I mean? So this one just has a little bit of like a spark to it, you know? Um, but instrumental mix, um, great. I mean, not really a shocker, right? Ghost's mixes, even for demos and unreleased and things like that, their mix is always on point, so not really a shocker here, but something I always want to point out for anybody new, right? Um, so instrumental mix very solid, right where it needs to be. Drums are great. Um, yeah. Melody carried though, co-prod me, co-prod Ghost. But yeah, so instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental shining star. You know, I do like the melody a lot, right? I do like the melody a lot, but I think the drums also really help with the bounce of it all, right? And really makes you want to kind of like get up and go and like it has a good like um it makes you feel good almost, you know what I mean? Like has that like speed factor, you know? So I do like the drums for that a lot. Sound selection was great. Um Melody though is like so recognizable, you know what I mean? Like Melody was definitely really good for sure. Um See, this is a tough one because I can kind of claim both of them, but you know, structure is up there too. You know, you can't really forget about structure. That's also very underrated for sure. Um but I'm kind of torn between drums and melody though. I don't want to shit. Shit. I think I think for the whole mood of the song, I think the melody definitely takes the cake for sure. Now that I'm thinking about it though, like I think the melody really sets the tone, you know. So I think we're probably gonna go melody here on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, 100%. But you could argue like any one of those. Um, let's talk vocals again. Vocal mix for a demo is fantastic. You know, really, really crisp, clean, clear. Levels were good. Nothing's really like fighting itself in the mix. You know what I mean? Like I think I think the vocals are right where they need to be, even for a demo, right? Because I'm sure they'll clean it up with like a master and stuff. But um, man, I think the vocals are great. To be honest with you, I think the vocals are right where they need to be. Um, so a vocal makes very solid. Um, Vocal shining star. I mean, it'd be a crime not to say writing though. You know what I mean? Especially like that second half of this one. I think the writing is just like, you know what I mean? Like the writing is up there for sure. So I think writing and lyrics are gonna take the cake. But I mean, you could kind of argue flow and cadence and delivery too, right? But I think writing is just gonna take it here for me for sure. So, um, instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Obviously unreleased, so no cover art yet. Um, but the overall theme is very relatable, right? I mean, the hook is bouncy, it's up there, and then you know you just have the um theme of love and emotional investment and relationships and how toxic that can get too. So like I feel like there's a little bit of something for everybody on this track, which I think is a huge advantage for any artist, right? Um, Definitely. Cause like even if you're not really going through that type of like situation in your life, you can still like the song because it fucking bangs, right? You know what I mean? So I mean, come on. My drums are always good if the melody's good. Yeah, facts. Facts. Melody's what's catchy. I agree. I agree, my friend. I agree. Um, so yeah, this was great, man. Well done. Well fucking done. Huge shout out to Ghost for the submission. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 520, so make sure you go show them some love in the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers actually. We're only like 9 away, so make sure you go sub to the channel if you haven't already, my friends. Of course, we do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Next week's submission is mixed, by the way. Oh shit, I'm down. I'm down. I'm so down. That's gonna be exciting. But our last patron of the night is the homie Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, has been cooking with their unreleased submissions recently, man. Fucking cooking. This week they came through with a track titled "The Sun Has Been Blinding Lately" demo. Lots of demos tonight. I love it. Love it. We're always blessed with the unreleased, eh? But pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. This cover art makes a return again, man. I'm gonna have to ask Jordan about that. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. But yeah. So unreleased Jordan here. Sun has been blinding lately. Love the title. Let's get into it. Oh shit. Wow. This is a crazy switch up, by the way. Holy shit. Very eerie almost as well. Wow. Okay. So this was nuts for a few reasons, right? Um, this style switch up was nuts. I mean, Jordan is known for switching up their styles and like experimenting and trying new things, right? With their vocals and their instrumentals. But this was one where I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? It has a good like old like Shiloh kind of like softer sort of vibe for sure. Which I like, you know, like this is what you have to do as an artist, right? Sometimes you just gotta experiment with other styles and other things. It doesn't mean you have to put it out, you know what I mean? But like seeing it through to like a semi-finished product is always good for you as an artist, right? So I think that's important. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of "The Sun Has Been Blinding Lately." Again, great title. Definitely great title. Um, so instrumental. I mean, obviously, with this being a demo in mind, if Jordan does decide to release it, I'm sure they'll polish it up in a way that they kind of see fit, right? But yeah, instrumental for where it's at, and with it being a demo, is really solid. You know what I mean? Simple, straight to the point, clean, clear. Nothing to really gripe about too much on the instrumental side of things, right? Um, hmm. So instrumental mix solid, especially for a demo. Instrumental shining star. Um, you know, the structure's kind of up there for me. I won't lie. I think the structure's up there for me. Um, the melody too, though. Drums are simple but very clean. Mm, truthfully, I think the melody's got to take it. You know, again, like we were talking about with the Ghost submission, the melody just like really like sets the fucking tone. You know what I mean? And you know, 2 seconds into the song, you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? So you kind of like follow through with that. So I think melody definitely takes it for me for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again. I'm amazed at this vocal mix actually. I just like how Jordan's like trying different shit and just like really switching up the styles a bit. Like even like the flow and cadence and delivery was like a little bit like refreshing and kind of new, right? Like they're just trying new shit, and that's the one thing that comes to mind with this mix. You know what I mean? And that's a thing that every artist like should be doing every once in a while. To kind of like further your own sound, right? It's like how people like switch up genres and then they go back to their main style and they're like 10 times better because they went and learned something else, right? So that's what I love about this. And who knows, you might discover a style that you really like. So I feel like that's what Jordan was doing here, and I think they did a good job. Quality was good, levels were good, nothing I would like really tweak out about, especially for a demo, right? Um, so yeah, vocal mix right where it needs to be for sure, especially for a demo. Um, but vocal shining star. Hmm. You know, writing's definitely up there for me, but I think for this one, like the flow and cadence and delivery kind of catches you off guard if you're a regular Jordan listener, right? And you're like, whoa, what's this? You know what I mean? It's like when your favorite artist like switches up their style, and you're like, oh, whoa, you kind of get that like twinkle eye, and you're like, what the fuck? Um, so yeah, I think for this one, I think flow and cadence and delivery has got to take the cake here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. This photo is insane. It's one of those like mindfuck kind of photos that like the more you look at it, the fucking crazier it gets. You know what I mean? And I say this every week about this fucking photo, bro. I have to ask Jordan about this. Um, but yeah, um, aesthetics definitely on point, especially for an unreleased, right? Like I feel like the photo is so iconic now that it like needs to be a cover. You know what I mean? Overall theme, the sun has been blinding lately. Again, a very like inner self kind of track. Very much like inner self, like writing about day to day feels, but also kind of like really like, you know, a retrospective of like when you look inside yourself, right? I always get a lot of that from Jordan, right? A lot of like self reflecting and a lot of like self addressing things, right? I think Jordan does a really good job with that, and again, in that sense, that's why music is therapy too, right? Because it forces you to like go inward and like address things that you might not normally address, right? Um, and sometimes music and writing to music is like the only way that kind of like relieves the pressure a little bit, right? So I think Jordan does a really good job with that. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 10 followers away from 100. That's a W milestone. And of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 420. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. You already have. Thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Get it, baby. All right. So we left off with the homie Jordan, and that actually does conclude all of our Music Mondays Patreons for the night, man. Thank you guys for coming through and submitting for episode 276. You're all fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patrons, past and present. But let's continue on, my friends. So we're gonna go right down the middle here and just start from the top and go through our community submissions. So up next we have the homie Sam's Raps, a wonderfully talented hip hop artist, came through with another track off of the Bullies Manifesto. Past 4 years is the title. Prod by Grant, featuring Sam's Raps, Shu, and Grant as well. Don't waste time on the time you lost. I like that. That's fucking facts, my friends. Alright, let's do this quick pause here. Let's see what track this is off of the Bullies Manifesto here, because we did Tyler's Crash Out and Save Screen Mobsters, but this week we have track 12, going a little bit further down the track list. Okay. I'm down. Past 4 years. Alright, let's get into it. Past 4 years, Sauce Gang and Sam's Raps. Let's go.
Past 4 years, I've been feeling to the cusp, bill. Past 4 years, I've been sipping through the dust cloud. Past 4 years, I've been feeling till I burst out. Past 4 years, I've been sitting in the rain cloud. Have you ever seen the rain through a black heart? Make you wait the fucking day on a bad start. Working like I got a stain on the car hard. Gotta find a way out of the maze before I pass, dog. Bullish on my path, like a minotaur. Stack up on the bucks, like we camouflage. Blew the cash on the stack, now I'm saving up. Couple shots in the blunt and we taking off. Yeah, I was stuck in a rut, now I'm making sauce. Couple shots in the blood and we taking off. Don't waste time on the time you lost. Past 4 years, I've been feeling to the cusp, bill. Past 4 years, I've been sipping through the dust cloud. Past 4 years, I've been feeling till I burst out. Past 4 years, I've been sitting in the rain cloud.
Past 4 years, been a movie with no playback. Same old loop, different view, no Maybach. Had to cut a couple times, couldn't save that. Had to learn to find peace where the rain at. Sip truth through the cracks in the stained glass. Every scar on my arm is a name tag. Used to drown in the noise, now my way back. To all the ones still lost where I came at. It's a cold world, stay built for the slipstream. Turn the stones, got a big dream. Try to dim the glow like a split screen. No brakes on the ride when you're coasting. No strings attached, just no shit. Floating through the static like devotion. Had to learn to trust the tide, not the notion. Had to turn the motherfuckers off into potion.
From the scriptures, Holy Ghost. Pepper Comandante does the most. Never doubt the sauce we use and go. Level up and up, then we emote. Fortnite in 2 weeks, we fix the scope. Snipers after dark, we at your throat. Hold our breaths and manage through the choke. Pull the trigger, inhale all the smoke. 4 years, yeah, steadily we whip it in the kitchen like a misfit. Tribute to the gifted. Past 4 years, yeah, stirring up the sauce till it's lifted. Scribe, bully, Bob, and a biscuit. Past 4 years, yeah, silently we sounded the alarm. So when Yeti drops a bomb, you won't miss it. Past 4 years, yeah, sifting through the BS. Do no harm, but to us, your chicken parm, bitch. Past 4 years, yeah, steadily we whip it in the kitchen like a misfit. Tribute to the gifted. Past 4 years, yeah, stirring up the sauce till it's lifted. Scribe, bully, Bob, and a biscuit. Past 4 years, yeah, silently we sounded the alarm. So when Yeti drops a bomb, you won't miss it. Past 4 years, yeah, sifting through the BS. Do no harm, but to us, your chicken parm, bitch.
The chicken parm line sold it for me, man.
Ni, sun, she.
Good little outro. Wow, man. This was fun. This was really fun. This is one of the ones that comes in just really hot and like doesn't put you down until the song is done. Literally, like it's just a constant. You know what I mean? It's just fucking flowing. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We'll talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of the past 4 years. It's actually a really cool theme here too. But instrumental wise, first of all, a great choice for these two. I feel like these two were just like effortless on this. You know what I mean? So this was great. You know what I mean? This is a very like Sam's Raps, Sauce Gang kind of like easy, like, oh, I could kill this, no problem. You know what I mean? It totally gives that vibe for me. So yeah. I think the choice was just great in general. But instrumental mix extremely solid. Nothing that I would like really gripe about, especially for Sauce Gang and Sam's Raps in general. Their mixing and engineering has always been top tier here on the show. So not really a shocker to us, but something I always want to point out for anybody new, right? So yeah, instrumental mix very much on point. You know what I mean? Very much on point. Quality was good, levels were good. Nothing I would really gripe about. You know what I mean? Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, the drums are nuts, right? But the instrumental comes in so hot, and I feel like that helped these two really just like go back and forth with each other's verses and kind of like, you know, it starts off hot. You know what I mean? I feel like the instrumental definitely helps with that. So I think, I think Shining Star, man. I don't, because the melody's up there for me. I like the drums, but the structure though, I think is what's gonna do it for me. I think the structure is gonna take the cake on this one for sure, just because it comes in so hot, right? So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again. A very clean vocal mix across the board for both of these two. It almost sounds like they're in like the same room, literally. You know what I mean? Like the mix is so fucking clean. And again, not really a shocker for us here at the show, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here. Sauce Gang and Sam's Raps always have an extremely solid mix across the board. No questions. So, vocal mix, again, right where it needs to be. I feel like these two just sound really great together anyways. Um, so vocal mix on point. Vocal shining star. Um, hmm. Vocal shining star. I mean, writing and lyrics is like the simple answer, right? I mean, they both fucking killed their writing, and like the chicken parm line at the end kind of sold it for me too. So, um, but I think the flow and cadence and delivery is, something to be talked about there as well. You know what I mean? I think flow and cadence and delivery definitely is up for debate for sure. As far as like the shining star goes, right? Because writing and lyrics definitely, flow and cadence and delivery great. I mean, let's just go writing and lyrics just because throughout the whole track, it was nothing but bars. Literally, nothing but bars. So, instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I spoke about the Bullies Manifesto cover a few times already, but again, just to reiterate, I love this fucking cover. I'm not gonna lie, I love this fucking cover. The brass knuckles kind of like seals it all off, and then the way that the Bullies Manifesto is just like etched into this like leather kind of booklet here is great. You know what I mean? Like that really like sold it for me, and it does have a really solid like album sort of vibe. Definitely has like an album energy to me for sure. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme past 4 years. So again, I like this theme here for a few reasons, right? But I think mainly it feels like these two are talking about, the last 4 years, but also like in present day form, right? So like kind of like almost the self-reflection sort of thing, and like looking back at the past, but also like from a present state of mind, right? So I feel like they both kind of like had like the nostalgia feel to their verses and writing, but also it was very like present in the moment as well. So I feel like that's what they really excelled in on this one, and I like it a lot. You know what I mean? It's like one of those like really good self-reflective kind of tracks. You know what I mean? But also like being in present day, which is important. So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homies over at Sauce Gang, and huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow all these wonderful individuals on Spotify. And of course, my friends, make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the Music Mondays YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's see. We left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next would be the homie TDG, but we've already reacted to TDG earlier in the show because they are Music Mondays Patreon. So if you'd like to see us react to Out West, definitely go check out the beginning of this week's episode 276. Yeah, baby. Okay, so up next we have the homie Offspring Mysterious coming through with a different type of submission here. I'm down. Dive into the heart. So Offspring being a multi-talented producer, writer, designer, editor, all the above, has came through again with what looks like a photo here. Hold on, let's go pop this open, a new tab. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. Dive into the heart. No way. Holy shit. Hold on, we gotta zoom in on this shit here. Let's see. Wow. Holy fuck. Wait, that's actually nuts. Like it's like covers and Offspring like headshots. Holy shit. Offspring's been on his fucking design game recently, I see, huh? No shit. Okay. Wow. Wow. And even this one comes up unrecommended as well. Okay, Offspring getting in some art pieces, man. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Holy shit. Yeah, see, I would love more of this. For sure. This is great. This is 100% great. Because, like I said, that's the thing with Offspring. They're multi-talented, right? Everything from music production to editing to designing to literally everything that a DIY artist needs to do. Offspring does it, right? So feel free to always come and show off your work here, because this type of shit is awesome. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring Series. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter, by the way. They're only 2 followers away from 810, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel, man. Just make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's get it, baby. So, we are about halfway through the show, my friends. We are about halfway through the show. So, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, maybe go get a snack, maybe go get a smoke break or anything like that. And when we return, we're going to dive into the rest of the submissions for tonight's show, man. So don't go anywhere. ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 276. I hope you had a good break. Hope you're chilling, but we are back in live and in color. We left off with the homie Offspring Mysterious. Up next is the homie Slantoons. It's been a couple months since we heard from the homie, man. It's been a couple months for sure, but hope everything has been well. They submitted a track titled Peon, a multi-genre artist, by the way, Slantoons is. Let's pop this open new tab. Let's see what we got. I am down, my friends. We got lyrics and description too. Hell yes. I'm so down. Let's get into it. Slanted, Peon.
Wait, is that Flo G?
I don't feel like I'm a person, I'm a dog. Made me question everything that I become. All these women ever do is lead me on. Is there something that you need or that you want? I could get whatever's asked of me. Nothing's too hard unless you make it so it has to be.
Holy shit.
And now you're laying on my lap asleep. Want what you want, but then you went and took a half of me. I could spend another hour. In reality, you know I'm fine with spending eons. Wanna be your favorite flower. Give you what you need, I'll be your peon.
That's gas. That is gas. Holy shit. Let's get it, baby. We got Sam's Raps in the chat. Welcome on in.
I don't feel like I'm a person, I'm a dog. Made me question everything that I become. All these women ever do is lead me on. Is there something that you need or that you want? I could get whatever's asked of me. Nothing's too hard unless you make it so it has to be. And now you're laying on my lap asleep. Want what you want, but then you went and took a half of me. I could spend another hour. In reality, you know I'm fine with spending eons. Wanna be your favorite flower. Give you what you need, I'll be your peon.
That's such a bar. That is such a bar. Holy shit. I like it. I like it a lot too. Your submission tonight was fucking crazy, by the way. Sam's Raps. First words, welcome in, my friend. I hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, this was nutty. This was fucking nutty. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, man, there's so many things I really like about this, though. There really is. All right, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Peon. So, instrumental. Fantastic choice, especially for slanted, right? A very slanted type instrumental. Another artist that kind of like knows what type of instrumentals they really can slide on, right? Like they definitely curate their instrumentals really well. So I love the choice. Instrumental mix though, fantastic. Nothing I would like really gripe about too much. Drums are very clear, crisp, clean. Levels were good. Nothing that I can like really tweak about. You know what I mean? Usually slanted has a really solid mix anyway. You know what I mean? So that's not really a shocker, but instrumental mix. Definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I do like the drums. The drums keep up the pace a lot, but I think the melody's bringing a lot of the emotion that Slanted kind of wanted for this track, right? So I think melody's up there for me. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Great. Again, a very like clear vocal mix. A little bit more crispy than we usually hear from Slanted, right? I don't know what they've been doing new, or maybe it was just a one-off, but mix is very, very crispy, for sure. Again, nothing I would like really tweak about. Quality was good, levels were good, nothing like super clashy or like too overbearing, right? Kind of like fits their voice really well, so mix is solid, definitely. So, vocal mix up there. Vocal Shining Star. You know, truthfully, I really like the writing on this. You know what I mean? Like, I like the writing on this. It's honest. You know what I mean? It's very honest. But I think the flow and cadence and delivery, you know, gives it that emphasis that it really needs, right? So I think the flow and cadence and delivery kind of takes the cake here, especially the delivery itself, right? So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Love this cover. Kind of reminds me of those like old school like children's books a little bit. You know what I mean? It's very like aesthetically pleasing to the eye for sure. Color palette's good. Definitely has like a good single vibe too, you know, kind of like a one-off. And it definitely like is attractive to the eye for sure. Definitely fits the feel of the song as well. It's a very like more like softer kind of feel. But overall theme, relatively obvious, right? I mean, you know, in relationships, you know, we've all been there, and if you haven't been there, then shit, you'll you'll probably have it happen to you eventually, right? But when it comes down to this type of like emotional situation, it's really good to just get it out. You know what I mean? Like, really good to just kind of like um write it down, record it, perform it, and sometimes you don't even have to put it out, right? But sometimes getting these thoughts and like putting them in song form kind of eases the pressure for sure. Definitely eases the pressure, 100%. So definitely one of those more like difficult spots to be in life, but music does help when you write about it for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Precious Moments vibes. I agree. I agree. That's a really good way to put it. Um, but yeah, huge shout out to Slanted. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They're only 3 followers away from 70. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 160. So that's a W milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's see here. We left off the homie Slant Tunes. Up next is Dirty Animal. Now, we got a first-time submission from them last week, and it was fucking nuts. So I have no doubt they're coming back with some more heat for sure. But Dirty Animal came through with a track titled Issues. Okay, I'm down. And it's got the homie Wizard on it. Okay. Fellow frequent Music Mondays community member over here. Love that. We got Wizard and Dirty Animal on the same track. I'm down. I'm down. All right, let's get into it. Issues.
There is something rotten inside of me. I'm drowning, Doctor, and I can't stop asking myself, why do I hate myself so much?
Feeling stressed, and I've been dealing with these issues. I don't care if y'all believe me, I ain't trying to convince you. I'm just writing down my thoughts, let you peek inside my window. Take a look into my heart, black spots from what the sins do. Feeling stressed, and I've been dealing with these issues. I don't care if y'all believe me, I ain't trying to convince you. I'm just writing down my thoughts, let you peek inside my window. Take a look into my heart, black spots from what the sins do. Is anybody listening? I'm dealing with demons and I can't even sleep at night. I don't like what I'm dreaming. All these buried memories reappear like they're magic. Like how they burnt up my man, wrapped in the mattress with plastic. Think I need some therapy, but we don't talk to them people. Keep our business between us. Now I'm stuck with this evil. I just keep my mouth closed, never one for chattering. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Came up with them Italians. Can't hang with my friends, they don't want me around. They say my energy's off, I just been bringing them down. So I'm alone and I'm lost, I just been floating through town. I've been trying to stay sober, now I'm drowning in crown. So here's a toast to those I lost, wish I could hold them and grab them. Reconnecting with ghosts while going through photo albums. Every day it's a struggle, feels like I'm losing the battle. Got me pacing, mind racing like I'm needing some Valium. But yo, I'm feeling stressed, and I've been dealing with these issues. I don't care if y'all believe me, I ain't trying to convince you. I'm just writing down my thoughts, let you peek inside my window. Take a look into my heart, black spots from what the sins do. Feeling stressed, and I've been dealing with these issues. I don't care if y'all believe me, I ain't trying to convince you. I'm just writing down my thoughts, let you peek inside my window. Take a look into my heart, black spots from what the sins do.
Wow. A very real song there. Wow. That is a very real fucking song. Holy shit. You know, Dirty Animal has just recently started submitting to the show. I think we've only reacted to them one time, right? So I didn't really know what to expect again, right? Because sometimes artists switch it up and they're like, oh, I'll submit something else different. But this is just wow. Let's talk about it. We have to talk about it. We're talking about 3 things here. Talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of Issues. So, instrumental, prod by the homie Wizard, I assume, right? Yeah, great choice. It's a very like serious instrumental, um, but it does have a little bit of like a darker tone as well. You know what I mean? So I feel like the mix kind of like um nailed it as far as that goes. But I love the choice, especially for like this type of topic, right? Um, so instrumental mix though, nothing really super clashy to overbearing. I thought it was very clean actually. You know, the way it comes in, it's just like super clean and wide. You know, so the instrumental mix is awesome. Um, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, mm, drums are up there for me, but I think melody kind of goes up there too, for sure. Um, Structure though, I do like the structure. Yeah, we might have to go structure on this one. I just like how it's placed. You know what I mean? It makes for like a serious song like this, to have like almost like a story feel, right? So, um, instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, clean, crisp, clear, straight to the point. This is our only second submission from Dirty Animal, like I said, right? So, um, never really know what to expect, but I feel like the mix they fucking nailed it for sure. Again, crisp, clean, straight to the point. Levels are good, quality was good. Nothing I would like really switch up when it comes down to the mix, right? Um, so vocal mix on point. Vocal shining star. Um, Gotta be the writing. Although Lone Canes and delivery is really sick, but I think the writing and lyrics are just too serious to not give it the shining star. You know, writing and lyrics all day for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Has that good like mental health kind of a vibe going on here, right? Like you know when people picture struggling with mental health, usually it's images like these, right? And even this one kind of has that like ink blot therapy kind of vibe going on too. Then we got the wizard logo bottom left, so I think this is great. And a really solid choice, you know, for speaking on mental health and one's own mental health, right? Overall theme, a very obvious theme, but a very important theme. It feels like the subject tonight for like everybody's tracks has just been super self-reflective, right? And that's what I'm getting here is a big like self-reflecting sort of vibe. You know, it's not all about like the bad. It's just like being honest, and sometimes being honest is a lot of the bad stuff. You know what I mean? So, I think addressing yourself on a song is always a good thing, and like addressing your issues, right, and being honest with it. You know, because like Dirty Animal mentioned, sometimes therapy doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody's comfortable in X, Y, or Z. Everybody's story is different, right? So that's why mental health is so important. And we just kind of got to like listen to people when they're speaking. You know what I mean? For sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge, huge shout out to homie Dirty Animal and Wizard. Thank you so much for the submission, my friends. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Dirty Animal on Twitter as well. We're only 9 followers away from 220, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Up next would be the homie Ghost and Jordan, but we've already reacted to them earlier in the show because they are Music Mondays patrons. Make sure you go show these two some love and check out the beginning of this week's episode. But that does it, my friends. That does it. Let's close it out. Let's give some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's give a little love here for everybody that tuned in and showed love. The viewership tonight was fucking really, really solid. Like really, really solid. So huge shout out to all you guys that came through and showed love, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost, Lucha Libro. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to Chris Words Cult. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and showing up, man. Anybody else that lurked and chilled, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons: Jordan, Ryuki, TDG, Laverius, Ghost, and the homie Kale. And then, of course, huge shout out to everybody that did submit on Twitter as well. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, TDG, Offspring Mysterious, Planted, Dirty Animal, Ghost, and Jordan. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for submitting and tuning in. Then, of course, massive, massive shout out to everybody in the Music Mondays community tonight, man. You guys are fucking Legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. And of course, you can stream all the Music Mondays podcast episodes on anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. All 270 plus episodes are available for streaming and on YouTube as well. And of course, make sure you go follow Music Mondays on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're at, we are at. So make sure you go follow Music Mondays on your preferred social media platform. And of course, if you'd like to submit for next week's show, submissions will be live tomorrow, May 12th on all of our socials. So again, make sure you follow us and stay up to date. And of course, I stream quite literally 5 to 6 days a week, man. So make sure you come through, kick it with a kid, watch party stuff, speedrunning stuff. And then, of course, this is the home of the Music Mondays podcast. So make sure you come through and kick it. And of course, you can follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All my socials, all the Music Mondays socials are linked down below. And I'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream. And then we'll be live next week for episode 277 of the Music Mondays podcast. All of y'all, take care, be safe, and I'll see you next week.